Welcome to Motoroids, guys. My name is Amit and this is the Tata Sierra. Now there's so much to cover, I really cannot waste any time. So without any ado, let's start with this detailed review of this fantastic machine that tugs at my heart. Now the headline news here is that the segment that this car sits in is generally known for its relatively small boot space and some compromise in the backseat space. But with its massive wheelbase, this car has really extended the cabin space to a level where it competes with cars in much higher segments. The wheelbase here is about 120 more as compared to the Hyundai Creta, which makes it actually a bigger car. Not just that, it's wider, it's longer, it's taller in every dimension. You look at it, this car is a bigger car, and with the kind of pricing that Tata Motors have come up with, it really is a game changer. Let's have a look at some of the more interesting details. Now, in terms of design, there are a lot of things that Tata have taken care of to make sure that it befits the legacy of its predecessor, the legendary Tata Sierra. And a few of those details are this really slash-cut vertical snout of the car, the clamshell bonnet, and the styling is absolutely fantastic. It's a wide, squat-looking car. These end-to-end DRLs look absolutely beautiful when lit. And these 17 headlights are special. Tata really had to push their vendors to the limits to get that sleek look. But not just that, these are also very bright and the throw increases as you increase the speed of the car. They are also high beam assist. So all of that makes these headlights not just good to look at but fantastic in terms of practicality as well. You also get these LED projector fog lamps, and just have a look at the front of this car. It's just right. There is absolutely nothing wrong with this. It looks like a very beautiful, very timeless, very classy design. Kudos to Tata Motors for having come up with this. As you can see, there is an ADAS level 2 module right there, and you also have a 360-degree camera. There are some extra features associated with this camera unit as well. I'll let you know everything about that, but for now, do let me know what you think about the front of this car. There are many colors, and all the colors that are available with this car can be seen on your screen right now. The fantastic feature is that even on the base variant, you have two-tone options. Now, coming towards the side, what's amazing is that it's shot with 19-inch wheels, which is really amazing for this segment of car. The arches are squared out and the tires are 225 section. The ground clearance here is 205 and going forward, this car will also be offered an electric powertrain and all-wheel drive, which would make it a proper true SUV. So that ground clearance would really be great in making this a go anywhere machine. Also, if you look at the wheels, they are pushed to the ends, which means that there is maximum space in the middle, and that makes it a very good car to go anywhere because the approach and departure angles are a lot better. So all of that really makes it a very interesting car. This thick cladding adds to the muscular look, and a small detail but very interesting one is that you don't have any rubber beading here, and that really called for a lot of effort, which makes this car look even more beautiful. This thick B pillar is signature to Tata Sierra. This big glass house is again fantastic. Now, it doesn't have that molded glass that you had on the Sierra, but with this black taping, that effect has been realized. You have these roof rails. And what you also have is this really enormous sunroof, which is the largest not just in its class but a segment or two above as well. You also have a shark fin antenna, flush fitting door handles, and you also have these 360-degree camera units which come equipped with blind spot monitoring system. I'll talk about those features as well. Coming towards the rear, you'll see that there's a big quarter glass area, and just like the front, it's a monolithic kind of a design. The rear has been completely slashed like it's a vertical slab, and all of that really makes this car look really beautiful. It's like nothing else on the road, and full marks to Tata for having designed this car the way they have. Just like the front, you have this tail light which is connected end to end. The rear camera sits here. You have sensors up front and at the rear. The tailgate is powered, and what I don't like is that there is a little bit of a delay. So when you press the button, it takes a bit of a moment before the tailgate lifts up, and you have 622 liters of boot space here. Seats are 60-40 split, and the great feature about this parcel tray shelf is that you can actually slide it behind the backrest of the second row like so without any problem. So you don't have to store it somewhere while you're not using it, and you can travel with tall luggage as well. So you can load it up vertically and that enhances the boot space of this car. Now you also get a decently sized spare. This is not the alloy, but this is a proper reliable spare, and I really like the fact that you get a proper spare wheel despite having such a big boot space. So big on practicality. There's a 12-volt power socket here, and really for this class of cars to have so much boot space is really a blessing. You can use this for a really long family holiday, and I really love that fact. This car really makes for a perfect family car, even if you have a family of 4 or 5, and if you're someone who travels long distance with your family. Another good thing is that even as lights go up, you have these lights which are visible, and you would be visible from a distance if you're parked on the roadside and your boot is up. Also, if you turn the hazards on or use the turn indicators, these will double up as the winkers as well. So that detail has also been taken care of. Also, there is this light here on the doors. So if you open the doors and there are cars coming from behind, even if you're parked on the side of the road, you'd be visible from a long distance. You also have puddle lamps here. So these small details have been taken care of. Now, all of those are good bits. The few things that I don't like about this car, because nothing is perfect, is if you look very closely, you'll see that there are still a few inconsistencies in terms of the panel gaps. As you can see here, it's not consistent. Some car makers have panel gaps controlled better. Also, you can see a few areas where you can find the droplets of the paint, so the paint consistency could also have been better. Overall, the finish is fantastic. It's really a lot better than what we have seen from Tata before, but in some areas like this, you have rough edges of the plastic. So there are still a few things that probably could have been a little bit better. This is a massive improvement. It comes from the Sanand plant, and it is a massive improvement, but I still believe that the fit finish of this car could still be slightly better. Now, this is what the key looks like. It feels heavy, not plasticky, feels premium enough. Lock, unlock, boot release, and this panic or alarm button also is there. Now, the door handles are flush fitting. You also have these lights here, and you don't really have to use the key as you enter the car. Just come close, press this button, and the car will unlock. Just look at the size of these doors. They open really wide. You get a puddle lamp also here. And what I really like about the interior of this car is that there is generous use of soft touch materials. Although there are some plastics which are hard. So this lower part is hard plastic. This is also not soft to touch. But for this class of cars, Tata can be pardoned for that, because the kind of features that they have given with this car are absolutely out of this segment's league. And if you can just overlook these two bits, which are like, the hard plastics, and a few other things like these sharp edges, these imperfections in the places where the panels are put together, I really think that Tata have done a fantastic job with the rest of the stuff inside of the car. Now, all of this is soft to touch. This is soft to touch. And an interesting aspect that I observed is that you can actually put your wallet or cell phone here, and since this is grippy, it won't go anywhere. You also have a generous space for 1.5 liter water bottle, some more space to spare, and space for umbrella as well. Now, only the driver's side window is one touch up and down, and these are the mirror controls. You get a 6-way adjustable driver's side powered seat, and you have 3-way memory function as well. You have ventilated seats. And the most amazing part is that these seats are beautifully contoured, and the thigh support is also extendable. Very nicely cushioned, very good support, fantastic seats, full marks to Tata for that. As you enter the car, you realize that it's just about perfect. Only if you are too short, you would probably have to climb in a little, but it's an ideal height to enter. So despite being a car with 205 mm of ground clearance, the seat height is fantastic. Steering is rake and reach adjustable, and right here you have a few buttons. So you have the start stop button. This material is soft to touch. This is fantastic. This is amazing. Scandinavian kind of a design, very beautifully done, very modern. But this part here is hard plastic. Now you have the triple screens, but the one thing that you need to know is that if you're going for the top of the line variant, you won't have HUD here. The one before the top variant, you will have HUD, but not on the absolute top variant. So you need to be mindful of that, which also reminds me to put a screen here where you'd be able to see all the features on all the variants, as I really cannot cover all the features and variants in this review. Now you have the boot release button here, and pressing this button will allow you to juggle between the city and sport modes. You also have terrain modes, so you can use this dial to choose between wet, rough, and normal modes. This uses traction control to manipulate power and brakes to get you out of tricky conditions if you get stuck in any at some point in time. The steering wheel is familiar, it's illuminated, and on the right you have cruise control and ADAS, and on the left you have all the audio controls. The lights are automatic, the wipers are automatic. As you can see, there's a ton of headroom here, and a very nice little detail is that you can extend the blinds somewhat by pulling this flap out, but the problem is that the quality here is not all that great. As you can see, it could have been finished a little bit better, but the great thing is that the driver and passenger both get illuminated. If you look at the cabin, you have hard plastics on the dashboard, but all of these materials here, this material is soft to touch. This is a sound bar inside of this fabric, but we'll talk about that later. You also have this insert here, so all of these materials are nice, but on the top and at the bottom there are scratchy plastics. Also, like I mentioned, in some places you can see that the panels are not put together very well. So if you look at this part here or this part here, you can see there are some imperfections. Also, when you look at some of the crevices, there are some edges, sharp edges. So all of those things could probably have been better. But in terms of the features that this car offers, it really is second to none. So let's first have a look at all the controls that you have. So you have front and rear fog lamps and descent control. The 360-degree camera, let's have a look at it. It is one of the best systems out there. So you can go in the 3D view and it gives you a very nice projection of the car. You can have a look at it from any angle you like. The resolution could probably have been a little bit better, but having said that, the features are top notch. You can have a look at the front two wheels or the rear two wheels. So it allows you to not have a spotter while you're out in the wild. You can also have a look in the 2D view and you can go wide as well. You have all the settings right here, and generally speaking, this camera is par for course. Now you have a 2-zone climate control and all the buttons are soft to touch. You also have the express cooling button, and most other buttons here are self-explanatory. You have a 65-watt fast charger and another charging socket which can be used for media and whatever you put in. If you put in a Type-C USB socket with some media, it will show here and you would be able to play it from the screen. So that again is a fantastic feature. You have two cup holders here. And in terms of storage spaces, you have this sliding armrest, which is very soft to touch and has a ton of space. So this wallet here and this cell phone and many such objects can be swallowed by this crevice rather easily. The wireless charger sits here, and a great thing about this floating panel here is that you can put your wallet or a cell phone right here without any problem. So this is my cell phone, this here is my wallet, and this space can be used to slide in small objects like a key, a wallet or a cell phone, and is like an additional space that you have on the sides of this panel. The panel by itself looks very nice, finished in glossy black. Now again, the finish could probably have been a little bit better, but in terms of the layout, it's fantastic. The materials are fantastic, and you just have to press this button here and engage the drive. Parking button is here, and the electronic parking brake is standard across all the variants. In fact, right here you'll be able to see all the features that are standard across all the variants in this car. On the dash as well, you have this crevice where you can probably put your wallet, a cell phone, and this space can also be used to store small objects. Now about the sunroof. This is the biggest sunroof that you have in this class or beyond, and it really took a big effort on Tata Motors' part to make this sunroof happen. And just look at the amount of space that you have out there. So for those who want a sunroof, it's one of the best options out there, and it operates on a one-touch function. So this one button here controls both the glass panel as well as the blinds. So if you want to stop the blinds at any point, you just use this button only. Then you have these two reading lights. The ORVM is also auto dimming, although the plastic around it could probably have been a little bit better. Now the magic is in this triple screen, which I think is one of the best out there. You don't get an HUD here, as I mentioned. You'll get it in the one notch lower variant. You get a 12 speaker system with Dolby Atmos 5.1 channel sound. You get a sound bar here along with 12 speakers, and the sound quality is absolutely astonishing. There is absolutely no better way to demo it than to play it on the Dolby demo, because it really immerses you in sound quality and you're able to experience it a little bit better. Now the interface for this specific car is all new, and if you're used to the older Tata cars, this one has a completely new interface. Although all the apps are lined up very nicely. Obviously it comes with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, wireless, Amazon Alexa. It also comes with the IRA app, which allows you to connect your phone with the car, and you can have a quick look at all the features in the video right now. So this is what the IRA connected car app looks like, and it has been projected onto this giant screen so you can directly have a look. We'll just run through all the features here. So you have the home feature, where you have all the usual features: lock, horn, approach, service, roadside assistance, navigation, vehicle health, vehicle alert settings, and your trips. Then apart from that, you can also have a look at your vehicle. So you have your drivers, which are your pre-configured drivers, your monthly health report, vehicle mode, vehicle alert settings, navigation, service, your preferences. So all of these things are here. Then you also have your value add services. The app also rates your driving based on how you have been driving. You can also create your own tribes, and you also have your Tata Motors reward, and then finally you have your support. So this is a quick look at what the IRA app for the Tata Sierra looks like. It also comes with an air purifier. The arcade store allows you to install apps. You can control the climate from here. You have the connected settings. I just showed you the Dolby demo. Then you have all of these other options also. You have the image viewer. You have JBL modes, which by the way allow you to choose from many of the presets. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different modes. In addition to that, if you're listening to your music on a headphone, you have additional 5 modes only for the passenger. So you have all of these JBL modes as well. Then you can choose where you want to play your media from, and you can use it as a USB, your Bluetooth, your iPod. And the great thing is that you also have a ton of apps installed on this system itself, which you can play your music from. So you have your Spotify, you can play it from YouTube, from Amazon. So you have a whole suite of apps on the car itself, which you can play your media from. An amazing thing about this car is that this is the first ICE car in India to have 5G connectivity. So the speed and everything else, the connected features are fantastic. You also get ambient lighting. So as you can see here, you can basically increase the brightness and the color as well. You can just choose whatever you want. So basically you get ambient lighting as well. You get native navigation on this car, and a great thing about that is that you can project the navigation onto the infotainment screen as well, and that's really great because it allows you to focus on the road better. And as you can see right now on the instrument console, you have all of these screens: driver assist, vehicle info. So navigation, once I choose the navigation destination, you'd be able to see the navigation here. Media, notifications, all of these things are visible here. And the instrument console by itself is very feature rich. All these 3 screens are very, very high res. So it's not like this screen is brighter or more high res than the other one, or the other one is any lower. So there is parity there. Now the preference app allows you to add as many as 3 profiles as drivers or guests, and you can choose the climate and your seat settings. And the moment you choose it, your seat and the climate settings will be applied. Then you have the relax mode, where music and the wallpaper plays. So when you start the mode, these 2 screens engage, and you'll have a specific music playing. And if the car is stationary, you can use these modes to just chill and relax. Finally, you also have the surround view and the video player. So basically you have a ton of features here, but these features you'd probably see in some other cars also. What's really special is the 3rd screen, and the features that you get on this screen are available on no other car within this segment or a segment or 2 above. Let's have a quick look at what are the features that a passenger gets. Now there are 2 aspects to it. So you can use a controller and a headphone. And while you're using a headphone, basically you just have to turn the Bluetooth on and pair it. And once you have done that, what you can do is you can play your own music through this or through your own Bluetooth device. You can actually use one of the many apps that come pre-installed here. So you can choose from any of these apps. Once you go to all the apps, you'll be able to see that you have YouTube, you have the racing, you have video. So basically, whether you choose video or music, you'll have a ton of options. So for music, you have Amazon Music, Geo News, Geo Savan, all of these options are there. If you want to watch a video, you can choose from Amazon Prime, Geo Hotstar, YouTube, and choose any. Connect your headphones, and then you wouldn't be disturbing the rest of the passengers, nor would they be disturbing you, because while you are playing your own content, the others can connect and play their content through the speakers. So you are listening to your music on your headphones while the others are listening to their music on the headphone. Now see, once you connect your headphone, you'll have these two bars, like you'll have another bar like this one, and whether you want to listen to music through the speakers or through your earphone, you can choose one of the two. And based on what your choice is, you'd either be able to listen to the music on your headphones or with everyone. Now using this controller, you'd be able to control the screen and you'd be able to play games, and it's damn easy. It connects with the screen by pressing the PlayStation and this button, and once you have connected, you have paired the controller, you can play games on this screen as well. What I can really tell you is that the sound quality on this car is absolutely fantastic, and with the FDD or frequency dependent damping, it really allows this car to glide over bad surfaces. So comfort is fantastic, and sitting here you would really feel like you are sitting in a car which is a notch or two above the other cars that you have in the segment. Not just because you have this triple screen layout, but also because of the fact that you sit too wide apart. It feels like a wide car, a big car, a tall car, and that bonnet also feels like it's a very big sturdy car, which is a notch above the other cars that you have in the 4.3 meter segment. Let's also now get to the back seat and see the comfort, space and features that we have there. So to start off, you have these sun blinds, which by the way are standard across all the variants. Big water bottles. Again, this is all hard plastic, but this is all soft to touch. You have some space here for a wallet or a cell phone. And the windows on all but the driver's side are one touch up and down. Getting inside is slightly more difficult as compared to the front because the seats here are taller. Fantastic thigh support, and the great thing here is that you can recline these seats by using this lever here. So there is a two-step recline feature available. So this is a standard recline angle, and you can recline it by this much, which by the way makes for a very comfortable rear seat seating because the suspension is fantastic. There is absolutely nothing here, and this is the widest car in its class, so you actually can seat 3 abreast. I tried it, and you can seat 3 abreast for medium journeys. So this car can carry 5 in comfort over long distances as well. So that's a big highlight. Now in these pockets you have one big pocket for bigger objects and these two smaller ones for something like say a cell phone or a wallet. Reading light, grab handle, coat hook, rear AC vents, which again are standard across all variants. You have a crevice here, and this little USB socket, the type C USB socket, can be used for a pen drive. Once you insert it, you can actually play that media using the third screen on the passenger side. So the passenger sitting in the back seat can use their own media device to play the content of their choice. You can just ask someone sitting on the passenger seat to play your content. Just like here, you also have space for objects in the back seat. Just like here, you have a few pockets here as well. All 3 headrests are adjustable. There is plenty of headroom, especially if there's only 2 of you sitting. Even 6 feet 1, 6 feet 2 people, myself being 5 feet 10, will not have any problem. Very spacious car, ample knee room. There's so much room for my feet. So space is a very big advantage here. It's very comfortable. The armrest is pretty wide. You have twin adjustable cup holders. And for this class, I don't think there is any other car which is as comfortable as this one, period. The AC, like all Tata cars, cools in a jiffy, and this 65-watt socket here will charge your cell phone real fast. So if backseat comfort is something that you're looking for, then this car really presents itself as a very solid contender. Now the amazing thing about the Sierra is that it is a new experience as far as ICE cars go because it comes with FDD suspension. And we had seen the magic of this suspension system on the Harrier EV as well. And the good part is that now this car also enjoys the benefits of having FDD. So the suspension setup now comes with FDD, and it really works like a charm. So like you saw, we were driving on some bad surfaces today, and you can really fly over bad surfaces without even thinking twice. Partly because it now gets FDD, and because you also get fantastic approach and departure angles along with good ground clearance. So if you're someone who travels on bad surfaces, this car comes as a boon. Now, to put things in perspective, this is definitely better than the Seltos and the Creta and a lot of other cars in the segment. The only car that I can compare it with in terms of its fantastic ride quality is the Jeep Compass, which also comes, by the way, with a similar suspension tech. They have tuned it slightly better, but this car can really hold its own, and you don't really have to think twice before going over bad surfaces. The steering, well, it's vague, it's light, it's not the tautest or the most intuitive of the systems, but when you turn the car, it feels like it is a bloody planted machine. It is enjoyable. The ride is slightly on the softer side. It's not too firm, but it's extremely comfortable. If comfort is something that is high on your priority, this car really drives. It almost flies over bad surfaces, and I just went over a bad speed breaker, did not even feel anything. So ride quality is where this car really shines. If you're looking for a car that is comfortable, spacious, looks like $1,000,000, then there is hardly any other car that matches this specific model at this point in time. Another great thing is the new engine. Now, when I drove the Tata Curve, I was not very impressed, but oh God, this engine is fantastic. It is reasonably refined. I would not say that it is the most refined, but for an all-new engine, it is pretty damn refined. There is a wee bit of noise coming in, but the great thing is that you don't really have any turbo lag whatsoever. It's paired with an Aisin automatic, which is 6-speed, and even at really low RPMs like 1000, 1200 RPM, there is ample power, and as you press on the pedal, the progress is very linear, almost as though it is a naturally aspirated kind of an engine. So I like the refinement, the fact that there is plenty of torque. It comes with 160 PS of power at 5000 RPM, and the torque is rated at 255 Newton meters between 1750 and 4000 RPM. Now, right now also I'm going over a really bad patch of roads, and in any other car I would probably have had to think about slowing down, bothering about these undulations, because they can unsettle you. But not here. Absolutely beautiful ride quality. You also get paddle shifters, which is fantastic, and it really puts you in control. What I really want to mention here is that the Aisin system works like a charm, and while this car also comes with a DCT with the naturally aspirated Revotron engine, the Aisin system, as we have seen a lot of other Mahindra cars also, is a beautiful automatic, and it really adds a lot of value to this entire powertrain. I think this is the best powertrain Tata Motors have produced until date, and not just is it refined, it's comfortable, but the tuning is also fantastic. It's not trying to be a hustler. It's not trying to over rev itself or to try to do crazy 0 to 100 numbers. It's practical, it's refined, it's very torquey. It has the most amount of power among its peers, by the way. It is very, very powerful. And a 0 to 100 sprint would take about 9.6 odd seconds, which is plenty fast for such a big, heavy car. This is a bigger car, a more spacious car, a heavier car as compared to its contemporaries. So even with that additional weight, this feels like a brisk car. I wouldn't say it's a very fast, very, very quick car, but it's a very brisk car. Feels powerful, quick enough. But like I mentioned, the most impressive part about this car is its relaxed nature, the way it drives. It's comfortable, and it's not trying to do something stupid. It knows where its limitations are and what it wants to do. Another great thing about this car is that the way it feels for its segment. It feels like a big wide car. You have fantastic visibility, and the bonnet, when you look at it, feels like a very muscular, very, very brawny kind of a metal sheath. You feel like you're driving something which is a proper SUV and not a pretender. Even the feeling from behind the steering wheel is that of a very sturdy, very well-built car, and all of that bodes well for Tata, because all the other cars in the 4.3 meter category don't feel as strong and big, and that is really great. Another great thing is the insulation. So apart from a bit of suspension noise coming in, the ambient noise is cut beautifully well. Wow, I love the way this car goes over speed breakers, man. And when you give it the beans, you do feel a bit of an engine noise, but when you're at cruising speeds, it feels amazing. ADAS on this car works like a charm. All the features are there, and a special feature that this car has is the blind spot monitoring system. Here will give you the view of both front and rear. So you have both the front and the rear blind spots covered, which is a feature that's not available in any other car. One thing is very clear, this car, even with the turbo engine, is not something which goes like this thing. It's not something which is supposed to be driven very hard, neither in the way the engine feels nor in the way it handles. It's very sturdy. Don't mistake it. It's a very sturdy set of four wheels. It can be enjoyable also, save for the loosey kind of a steering, but it's softly sprung. So when you're around bends like these, you can feel that the steering could have been tauter, that the suspension could have been firmer. So this is not exactly a driver's car. It's a comfortable car which is sufficiently sturdy, which is sufficiently well planted, and it's very practical. I think for our conditions, you actually need a car like this for addressing a vast majority of the populace. There is ample torque available from 1500 RPM onwards. Overtaking acceleration is brisk. It feels calm, composed, sufficiently powerful. And if you want a car that handles, you'd probably do well to buy something like the Taygun 1.5 with the DSG. But if you want a well-rounded car which cruises well, which is sufficiently powerful and offers decent fuel efficiency, the fuel efficiency on this car on the highway would be about 16-17 kmpl if you don't have a particularly heavy right foot. And within the city, you should be able to get about 12 kmpl without any problem. So the overall fuel efficiency that you'll get with this car is about 14 to 15 kmpl combined. And that's not bad knowing the kind of power that this car comes with and the kind of weight that it carries. Overall, I'm mighty impressed. It's a very practical package. And what's particularly impressive is that the engine is linear, it feels refined, and that the suspension has been tuned to take bad roads, bad patches in its stride without breaking a sweat. In one word, I think it's practical and I'm impressed. The 19-inch wheels really work very well to go over bad surfaces. You don't even feel anything. The tires are sufficiently grippy, and while the brakes come in a little bit later, like the bite is not very early, but the fact that the car has discs on all four ends means that the braking is pretty sharp and dependable too. The one thing that you need to know about the Hyperion engine is that if you go for this turbocharged unit, you won't be able to get it with a manual transmission. It's available only with the ISIN automatic. If you want a manual, you'll have to either go with the naturally aspirated petrol or the diesel. Now, a lot of people would want to think that this is a slightly more expensive car than a lot of cars which play in the 4.3 meter category. But this car also starts at about 11.5 lakh rupees, and it comes with a ton of goodies even in the base variant. Let me just tell you that while the exterior dimensions might be close to a lot of other cars like the Creta or the Seltos or a lot of other cars in that segment, this car is actually a bigger car, and in my books it's a car from a segment above, because the interior space that you have here, the boot space that you have here, the width, the height and the overall feel, the build quality and everything else is definitely a cut above the cars that you have in the 4.3 meter segment. Apart from that, those who buy this car, a vast majority of them would be people who are driven by the heart and not by the mind. Today, in my entire career of journalism, which spans about 22 odd years, I have not seen a car which elicited so much interest from people around me. Every single guy, although we are off the road, they spotted us from the highway and drove all the way in, walked, rode, and wanted to take a picture with the car, although we did not have time to, so we had to say no politely. But this car has piqued people's interest, and it is a fantastic car. Tata have outdone themselves. I think this is the best Tata car to date, and in that sense, if you really look at the price difference, I think there are segments, there are price points where there are overlaps. And for me, if you really ask me which is the most value for money variant, I think the Adventure Plus variant, the variant where you start getting the FDD or the frequency dependent damping, is the variant is where you get the most value. You get a ton of goodies there. Again, I have the features right in front of you. If you're looking for the best value, I think the Adventure Plus variant is there for you. Going higher up, since you get all of these goodies, the triple screens and ADAS and all of those things, the price does go up about 4 or 5 lakh rupees as compared to the other players in the segment. But trust me, these features are not important. The mechanical bit, the space, the comfort, the practicality that you get with this car makes it a car from a segment higher. So in that sense, I think this is tremendous value for money. You'll also have an AWD variant coming in some time, but for the meantime also it's a rugged car, fantastic to drive. It's not a hustler, but it's a very nice cruiser, very comfortable, very practical for the family, loaded to the gills with features. And I can strongly say with conviction that while there are some rough edges in terms of the fit and finish, the way things have been put together, but it doesn't creak, it doesn't make any noise, it feels like it's going to last a long time. And if you are going to be buying a car in the 4.3 meter segment, which comprises of cars like say the Taygun, by the way, if you want something to drive, Taygun is my pick. But if you want a practical, comfortable car, you can definitely not make your buying decision without having test driven this one. It looks like $1 million. It's loaded to the gills with features. It comes with a very capable engine. Of course, it comes with a variety of engines, petrol, turbo diesel and turbo petrol as well. But whatever floats your boat, do go ahead and take a test drive of the variant you like, but don't make a decision without having test driven this one. This is really genuinely a very good car. I really hope I was able to cover most of the things for you and give you some perspective as well. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to Motoroids, and until next time, this is your friend Amit Changani signing off. Rev hard, rev free, and drive safe.